What was that post? What was that?
That's my sod it.
I got that on record as well, so that's a perfect way to start.
Fine, that's the thumbnail.
How are you, man?
How's it going?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Introduce yourselves, what you do, yourselves, like you're more than one person, yourself even.
Well, I'm Ernie, and I'm also Ernie. Yeah, I'm Ernie. I sing and play guitar in the band Bison Face from St Albans, like everyone.
Every band.
Yeah.
St Albans is just the same four members in every band doing different things.
It's people plus Johnny.
and Will. That's it.
Yeah.
Johnny, Will, and maybe someone else. Didn't you play with Orchard King for the Foo Fighters thing? The album playthrough?
We did when they did a few like album anniversary playthroughs.
Yeah.
So they did I think they did Abbey Road, and then the next one they did was There's Nothing Left to Lose. And Johnny was like, you know all the Foo Fighters songs, and I was like, yes. So yeah, it was fun. That was November before lockdown.
That's so
ages ago. Yeah, it is weird. It was good fun though.
Yeah, that was like what? Well, yeah, that's like a year plus now.
And it feels like it was a couple of months ago. That's the weird part. There's a big chunk that's a lot longer than it feels that's just gone. So
it does feel like it does feel like it never existed. That part.
I was like, we played a show a few months ago. It's like, no, you played a show like 14 months ago, and I'm like, oh god,
dude, were you supposed to? Was it Pin-Ups you were supposed to play in London in like August or July, like last year, obviously? That bowling alley venue, like Pin-Ups.
Yes, we had a few shows in London, like on the cards, and I think that was the one where we actually had a date and everything sorted for about a day. I think that was because everything started moving. We released Ladybird the day before lockdown, I think.
Yeah, that was.
So we were like, cool, and then
literally that Friday it was you, Orchard King, and Lioness dropping on the same day, and it was like triple threat of local music, and then
and then obviously like people heard it, they were like, oh cool, yeah, play a show, and then the Monday after it was like everything's shut now. So yeah, that was good fun.
It's got, I mean, obviously like everyone's listening to music more because there's no shows, you have to fill the void somehow. The replay value on that though, still a year later, is something to like behold on that, because it's still good, man. Like it's holding up so well. Is it still like so frustrating for you knowing that you haven't gigged it post-release? Obviously I've heard it same as other people, like, oh yeah, this is our first thing, we play it live and it was great, but then putting it out more to other people, and no one, including you probably the most, hasn't had the opportunity yet.
It's weird. I mean, we've played both of those live before, but yeah, we haven't played a show with anything released probably, which is kind of weird. So I think the last show we played, some people started to know bits of songs, but we've never played a show when people are like, oh, I've heard this like properly. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Everyone's in the same boat, I guess, really. So it's not like it's just us.
Not Bison Face. Sorry.
You guys can't do anything.
Not this riff today. Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I mean, like, people were singing, was it More Rats or Heathers people used to sing at your shows? And you were like, okay, cool.
Heathers one show, everyone knew the chorus. And I was like, oh, that's dope. I think that was our headline show when we played a headline show at the Horn, and then just like all our mates and all of you guys, like all the local bands turned up. That was great.
That was
that was a fun show. And then we haven't been able to do anything, which is just, it sucks. So
it was just that night was great, because like you walked out to Queen's. When you supposed to walk out to the Pixies arrangement, we forgot to give it to Bill or something like that? I forget what happened. You did a string arrangement for walkout.
Ben was teching. It was Ben put on the show, and I did this like Pixies orchestral walk on thing, and then I just forgot about it. And then about 3 minutes before we went on, I was like, bollocks. Yeah. Ben was like, "Have you got that thing?" And I was like, "No."
Nah. I remember. What was it? I think it was like maybe the week before that. I think it was the Skeleton gig with like Father Benjamin and everyone. I think at one point when you were gone, Ben started playing Ladybird before it was released, like through the speakers. I was like to Ben, like, you can't play it, it's not out. And he just went, I mastered it. I do what the fuck I want with it. Like, dead me in the eyes, like, I do what I want. Yeah. I made it.
And I think I went out for a cigarette and everyone was like, "Oh, I just heard your song is great." And I was like, What?
Did you re-record Treason, or was that the first time recording with Will?
Ladybird and Treason have always been a bit separate to everything else. I never thought they fit on a record or anything.
No, I get that.
Yeah. So when we had 3 days, I think, or 2 days when we could go in and record with Will, like in between lockdowns, I was like, "Oh, let's just do Treason because it's easy." So we just kind of went in twos, like me and whoever. Like me and Johnny went in, smashed the drums out, and then we did the bass and most of the guitars. Yeah, it was very quick, like very nice. It was kind of nice to not have any not be mulling over stuff for ages.
Yeah, just
to kind of sit down and go, "All right, this is the song, bosh," and did it. Ladybird we were kind of sitting on for ages, working on and changing things and stuff. So Treason, it was just, I think, 2 days. Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, man. Was that like, did it really change from what it originally was, or was there not much difference, like from demo to this?
I'd changed a few of the lyrics from when we first played it live, and we really nailed down what Alex was doing, because every show he'd just make up like a lead line, because it was always just like, "I've got this song, do what you want in these bits." Yeah. So that's what it was. So all we had to do was go like, "Right, what are you actually going to play that's going to be on the record forever?" And other than that, it was all stock. Stock footage. It was Getty images, basically.
Getty. I just caught wind of that. Was good. I just got them around. I was like, Getty. Oh right, yeah.
I mean, a few bits. There was like one bit when I buzzed it up, and Will was like, "Oh, that was great." I was like, "No, that's wrong," and he was like, "No, it's great. Just do that as a harmony." And then that's made it into the guitar parts in the chorus. So
I remember. I think, was it you or Alex who showed me you were doing the bass parts through like just a crank tiny PV?
The guitar part in the build up, the really kind of compressed, horrible. Yeah, that bit was through a practice amp that was basically broken. Yeah, it was. Will's got loads of little techniques. Like we did the vocals through that bit through his phone mic. Yeah. So
like I know this through lockdown, all the shit that all the stuff you send me on the regular. Like I know you just have like a Prince's vault full of riffs that you just like. You write and you put it away, don't really go back to. How do you know which ones stand out? Do you just know? Is it like, oh yeah, this? Or do you have to like go back and continuously tweak and work? And like you said, like mold.
Are pretty much written in like 5 minutes.
Yes, yeah.
Like sometimes things take, it'll be like, we'll work on it and I'll kind of send a version to Alex and he'll be like, "Oh, like we could do this." But for the most part, I think the songs that are like done, I'll just I'll write something and go, "Oh, it's that," and then in my head the rest of it just goes, "Here you go," and it's done. Like Mallrats, I think I was noodling with that lead riff, and then the rest of the song was just there in like 2 minutes, and that demo was then the song. So when it's like that, you're like, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah, like
because if you end up going back to stuff, maybe it's not worth it. If you're putting that much time into trying to make something good, then it might never be. I think there's something to be said for like work, for going back to things, and then if you sometimes I'll go through all the stuff that's named ridiculous stuff to try and go, "Oh, what is this?" And you'll hear a riff, and then 5 months later, I'm like, "Oh, that could go with this, and that'd be cool." But yeah, most of the time, if like the songs that make it or make the cut or instantly go into the pile of like these will be used.
Yeah,
they're pretty quick in terms of not all the little nuances, but the crux of it.
Totally, yeah. Like I was going to say, when you mentioned like in 5 minutes, your brain just goes, "Here's your song." Like the little like lead riff lick at the start of Mallrats, that sounds like it belongs there. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, like to ears, to any ears when you listen to a song. They go, "Oh yeah, this is the song." But like that particular lead line, whenever you release it as a single, that's going to be sung along to. I know for a fact. But like, it belongs
just
there.
by you,
just by me at night, just swinging back and forth in my chair, just trying to get it right. Like, but
I'll record like an Eraserhead version for you that's at like 5 BPM. You can just sit.
I've got to practice, man. I'll get used.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it comes a lot of vibe as well, because it's like I said, it belongs there. You know what I mean? It's the vibe of it.
Like Mallrats, especially, has got that kind of almost pop music thing. When like you listen, like if any band played that and I heard it, I'd be like, oh, cool, like right on. That's fun. Whereas I think like Treason and Ladybird they're a bit more intricate and there's a bit more to kind of process out of it, but they're not as user friendly on the surface.
Yeah.
Whereas something like Mallrats is like you could just chuck it on and be like, oh, sick. Like now I know the song. I mean, I've always said to you, like, pop music's great, but proper pop music.
We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, like ABBA or old Take That is like good songwriting.
ABBA is,
whereas pop standard music now, we don't need to get into that, but it's about.
I mean, bro, you just mentioned old Take That. I wasn't expecting that from you. Not judging, but like never listened to Take That, so I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Missing out. You're missing out, mate.
I'm gonna you say Take That. I'm gonna say a cluster of a few songs off the first few Coldplay albums, the good ones.
No.
Decent. A few songs.
No. The only good one is Trouble.
I'm talking like the generic hits, the reasons why they're popular is because they're good. Are
Coldplay popular though? I don't think they are.
They are pretty popular. Like they
you can fit a lot of cardboard cutouts in arenas though. I don't think it's real. I don't know anyone who's ever been to a Coldplay gig. It could be a complete farce. Imagine if they weren't even a real band.
I think we should stop going down this rabbit hole.
We've gone off tangent again.
Yeah, we're doing it again.
Every time you talk to me, we go down some road. You have to edit this so much again.
We were talking about Jar Jar Binks mugs last time. I was talking about if Coldplay are real or not.
Give me Take That over like mumble rap any day.
Oh yeah,
definitely. But that's what's popular now. You look at the charts, it's like 70% a man just mumbling about cheese or whatever it is. I don't know.
That's another quote for you. 70% a man mumbling about cheese. I'll try and pull focus because I remembered you mentioned something when I last interviewed you on Rogues FM, and it really made me clock until like recently. I was thinking of questions for this, like how long you've been gigging. Like I didn't know you were gigging at the Horn in like 2012, 13. You've been playing a long time locally. That's mad to me. Like when was Fugitive Kind? Like you were like what? How old are you now?
Yeah, that was me.
How young are you?
27 now.
Damn, welcome to the club. Hey!
Yeah, so
yeah,
so old. So yeah, Laurie from TV Coma, me and Alex were in a band.
That's cool.
We were playing the Horn, probably 10, 11 years ago.
Mad.
Maybe. I don't know.
My age now, really. It's when you really start gigging properly then, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Mad.
And that was a lot of like, I've written these 5 songs and then we'll just play Stockholm Syndrome and Territorial Pissings as well because everyone loves it. We played a jazz club in Camden. It was like a lot of people sitting down like, oh, this is it was called Arnold's. I don't think it's there anymore.
Yeah, again, no, not what I'm thinking of.
But yeah, there's a lot of people sitting down and being like, I wasn't not really sure. Like,
dude. Nice.
Yeah, one of them. But yeah, no, we've been doing it quite a long time. But Bison Face is the first band when it's sort of been like, it feels more like an actual thing rather than just like, oh, this is fun. Like we've actually got some things now and I'm like, oh, like this is I'm stoked on this. So that's nice.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, I feel like it's so generic to say, but like you really need the formative years of just playing and covering Muse, like to build up. It's so, you can't skip that phase. And obviously you're not great at the start, but that's all part of the process. And it's so easy to get in your own head. I know that now, but like, I think it's just very important you have to allow yourself to really suck and be mediocre before you get something good, you know?
Yeah, I think it takes a long time for anybody to be comfortable playing on stage. I don't think anyone ever really is fully comfortable until you're Dave Grohl and you're like, this is literally fun just running about.
Literally, especially when you're a singer or frontman like you are, like it's like you are standing in front of people, speaking, not even speaking, using your voice in a way that's not typical in society because you can't walk around singing and you are shouting words at them. That's not normal. Like it's a very weird thing. It's very strange when you think about what singing is and you're doing it in front of people. It's so weird.
Yeah, and especially when it's like, if you've written a song, it's like, if you ever stop and think about what you're doing, it's like, this is so weird. I'm standing on, it's like, I'm just, it's like, it's like when people write a book and then they go to a bookshop and just read a bit of their book. I find it so weird, but people do it. And that's what music is. Like, you've written a song and then you're just, if you ever step back, you're like, I'm on stage shouting at people. So, but yeah, if you start young, I think by the time you're my ripe old age, then you're just like, oh, like, you still get the stage fright. No, not fright, but like that feeling of like, oh, this is odd.
Yeah.
But you kind of thrive off it. That's what makes it fun, I think.
Oh yeah, no, the nerves, I learned this. The nerves aren't nerves, it's just confused excitement in the end.
Yeah, it's like anticipation, and it's great. It's such a good feeling.
Yeah, man.
So
I'm missing that. I'm really
I miss shows. Everyone misses shows though.
Everyone misses shows.
It's such a boring thing to say now because everybody I know is an artist or a musician and they're just like, oh, I miss it. And I'm like,
it's like I literally was saying this to you before we hit record. Like I was typing up a thing on my band's account, like, oh yeah, like whenever we can return to live music. I'm just like, okay, they all get it now. I don't need to reiterate. I don't need to say, oh, when we all go back to the shut up. Like we know we're here now.
I stopped posting anything like that when I looked at other people posting it, and I was like, "Oh, shut up!" So then I was like, "Right, I'm not doing that anymore."
Party
if something's said enough, then you just better leave it.
Yeah,
better leave it unturned.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to use the phrase "private joke party" as a way to describe it, and I remember that's one of your songs. So
that is one of the songs.
Yeah, I just
one of the sneaky songs.
Because I've been using it recently, like as a way as like an allegory. Like, where do I know that? Oh yeah, Ernie sent me a thing
with
Bison
Face demo,
and I was like, that looks familiar. Oh, and I just like it's been in my brain now.
Sneak peek.
Woo! Right, yeah. You described earlier on, like I say earlier on, as in like the other day.
A year ago.
At 3:47 a.m. No, like the other day at 2 a.m. you texted me saying post Treason is space grunge, and I know that you used to have Tatooine grunge in like your bio for your band. What's Bison Face aiming for now? Because like obviously, like I know this is just how people.
I mean, I don't really think we're aiming for anything. It's just like Ladybird and Treason have always felt, like I said earlier, they've always felt separate to everything else, which is why we kind of put them out earlier as singles, because we've got elements of that sound, but everything else is a bit more like cosmic college rock sort of thing. The way like how Mallrats and Heather's sound is that it's more of that, less of the desert-y sound which like Treason has. But I think there's still everything is still in everything, as vague as that sounds. Well, I'll write a song and be like, oh, that sounds very sandy, and then the next one will be like full 90s college rock and everything in between, and there's like shoegaze, and I still try and write most things acoustic so I know they're not because if you start writing with pedals, then you're like, oh, that's all, like I wrote this because of that sound, and you lose a bit of the craft element of it. So I try and write everything acoustic or just clean or whatever, just to if it works acoustic, it'll be good with all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, it really, because I just got like my acoustic, like can't speak.
Bless you.
Thank you. I just I really just started using an acoustic properly, which I brought off Casper, and like instantly I noticed how better it made my singing and my like ear of melody, because, and like I'm talking melody in terms of vocals and guitar, because like it's all just bare, and it's louder than just like an unplugged electric. You actually have to like fight it, but in a good way, if you know what I mean. Like be heard and know where you are.
You can hide behind all that. If I used to write everything really fuzzy and be like, oh, like this riff is great.
I did, yeah.
And then like it's fine, but also you can mask a lot of blemishes and bad things if you do that. Whereas if you write something that's so bare bones, but you still like, oh, like this is, I'm proud of this, then once you add in your sound and on top of that and layer it, then it's like, oh, this is mega, this is huge.
Didn't forgive me if I'm wrong, did you do an acoustic Bison at some point for a laugh during lockdown? Remember you sent me a clip of you like running it through Logic like an acoustic Ladybird. I'll cut this out.
Oh, I thought you meant the show.
Oh no, the show?
No, I did I did an acoustic gig at like a summer fair thing, like a couple of years ago.
The most terrifying gig you ever done because it was just you.
No, I've done a few acoustic gigs like that. It was it was more. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I just did a bunch of covers, and I did Heathers and Mallrats, I think. I don't know. No idea. Yeah, I started recording a few acoustic-y versions of things to put out, and then I didn't in the end. We kind of I lost the motivation for it, I think.
Yeah.
I think in terms of those, I started off like, oh, this will be cool, and then I was like, actually, no one cares, do they? And I don't really care. I'm just doing this for something to do. I'd rather write. So
yeah, I mean, I think that's like, it's sometimes I hate using the words or terms like art and artist, but like I feel like to make like good art and be inspired, you have to like cultivate life. And like right now, there isn't really a lot of life that can be cultivated unless it's like memories. You know what I mean? You can't go down to the pub right now or see a gig or see your mates. It's just this. It's like you can only go so far right now. You're not going to write amazing stuff. I mean, you could do. It could be great, but like I think
I've written about the lack of that. Just means all the lyrics are really depressing. But
yeah, like we're
it's like, oh, was that one of the lockdown songs? Yeah,
it is.
We can tell. Yeah, I've still been writing kind of upbeat songs like that, but then you read the lyrics and you're like, oh god,
yeah.
Oh my god.
Blue moon for me, where I can actually be optimistic in the song. I think.
Yeah,
it's once in the blue moon.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot to kind of latch onto, is there? There's it's just whatever you're left with at this point, because nothing new is happening and nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I've stopped looking at the news
for
the most part.
I check every 2 weeks and that's it.
Yeah, I think once after 4 or 5 times of it being like, yeah, we still don't know, so another month. I was just like, cool.
Well, right.
Someone will text me when it's good and just logged off.
I was going to ask you about like where and about all this sort of newness and space grungy, like I said, cosmic sort of John Hughesy stuff that's going down. Is this going to be like the path of the EP, or what's coming up next? What's the plan? Obviously, right now, it's not like you can play a gig and record, but like at this moment in time, without saying too much, because I doubt you want to give too much away, what's like the next move, I guess?
I think we're probably going to record a few more standalone singles.
Yeah.
Just to kind of drip feed stuff, because until we can we can play shows and do a proper release, there's no point in putting together like a big body of work. Really, there's no use for it. It'd be wasted. I think if we did the EP or did an album or something now, there's no way of backing it up. It's just sort of like, cool, there you go. So when we can, we'll record a single and a B-side or something. Just put some more things out to tide ourselves over.
Yeah, man.
But until we know what we can do in terms of, like, I don't really want to put any big thing out until we can play a show.
Yeah, literally.
A proper show, not us and 3 people in zorbing balls, but like an actual gig. But yeah, I don't know. I know as much as you at this point. There's loads of music there. There's loads of stuff written.
Yeah.
But it takes time, man. Like Treason, Ladybird and Treason were written ages ago, and like Treason only just came out. It's like a year and a half old at this point, I think. So much music just stacked up and finished, but obviously we can't record properly. And I'd like to record the next stuff live if we could, like rather than multi-tracking, like try and get a bit more of a feel to stuff. But you know, see what happens. That might not be a thing for like a year. So no, we haven't played together as a band since the last gig.
Mate. Jesus. So wait, Arthur hasn't even like jammed with you guys yet properly?
No. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
That is mad.
It's a long time. But then it was like we kind of, when we did Treason, we just sat down and Johnny was like, oh yeah, this song, and just like did I think it was like 2.5 takes and was just done. I was like, sick, thank you. So I mean, we're all at the point musically where it's not, you know, we're not going to come in and be like, oh, I've forgotten how to play music. We're all still playing loads as best we can, but you know, like we're none of us are it's just not feasible to kind of do a practice.
No, man.
And also, I mean, yeah, as depressing as that sounds, it's just like it's. But yeah, I don't know when we can really.
I mean, in the meantime, we got it on Spotify, which is enough for now. Which is just good stuff, man. It is good. I like, you know this already from me, but like, it's good. You know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, thanks, man.
You're achieving that, and it's gorgeous. Like, it's good seeing your face again in general. I think the last time I actually saw you wasn't like through a phone screen. Well, no, this is a, you know, like WhatsApp was like what, July, June for the Rogues.
When did we do the Rogues one? Yeah,
that was June, because that was like right before stuff's getting lifted again. So that was like, that was Jesus.
We still haven't found the Jar Jar mug. Fuming.
Real quick before I kick you off, is there anyone you want to shout, like a venue or a band, anything which you jam into? That'll be awesome. Anything you want to mention?
I mean, new stuff. Arthur and Johnny's bands, they're both like, they're both great. So everything on the Bison Friends playlist basically is like all our mates and all our peers and stuff, which is pretty cool. So everything on there, like Plastic Barricades, Fan Club, like all those guys, they're just the dudes. Venue wise, Horn, keep the Horn open because we need it. And Black Heart as well, one of my favorite venues in London, and they're like screwed. So
I wasn't aware about Black Heart until I saw it the other day. I didn't know how, because I thought they were fine, because I knew they were so like acclaimed and heralded. I had no idea they were still in the rut.
I don't think they've had any, because it's in Camden. I think most of the councils are like, oh, if we can turn it into flats, then let's do that. So I think all the venues are struggling.
Monarch's gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Monarch is great because you had like...
That was a fun show there when we did the TV Coma and Wink.
Yeah, was it Lou Bruno as well?
Yes, Lou Bruno's a dude. I love that guy. Oh, man, that sucks.
Yeah, Monarch's gone because you had like the stage, then like you had the windows behind you, it was the street and the cars going by.
Yeah, a bus stop. Just people just stop.
Like music. Like,
oh, what's that going to be now? That'll be like an estate agent or a bubble tea shop or something.
Something crap, yeah.
Bubble tea and stamps.
There's enough bubble tea places in London, man.
I've never had it. I don't know what it is. It looks horrible.
It's all right, to be fair. I've had it twice in my life. But, you know, it's all right. It's like a nice tea with, like, little squashy balls. I'll leave it there. There you go.
That's a soundbite.
Yeah, squashy balls.
It's like iced tea with little squashy balls.
I'm going to hit stop record before this goes even further. Thank you for hopping on, man. I really do appreciate it. We can find you
on Thanks for having me.
Socials, right? Just Bison Face Facebook, Bison Face, all that.
At Bison Face on everything except Twitter, which is at Bison Face Band. Because
for some reason off Twitter,
I don't know.
Nah.
I mean, we've got bisonface.co.uk at the moment because for the next 3 years there's some random fitness brand which is bisonface.com, and it's not like it's inactive. and it's so irritating. Man. And I tried to get the domain, and they were like, "Yeah, this person's got it till 2023 or something." So I think I've put in to get it for then, but until then, it's .co.uk. So
Jesus.
And I thought it'd be such a niche name. I was like, no one will have that on anything.
Bison Face.
Which is true. Well, we're the first thing on everything except.
Yeah. Oh, you died.
Oh, I dropped you.
New angle.
Oh God. New angle. Bit more chin. Yeah, like we're fan of shots at the top of every search except that, and it's just this woman who's like, I don't know, it's like yoga or health or food. I don't know, but.
So it's .co.uk, yeah?
Yeah.
Just to make that sure, not that.
I mean, you can go to bisonface.com, but it's not us.
Want. Got some hit training, go for it, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, thank you, man. This has been great. Stream Treason, Ladybird, bang your head, everyone. Hopefully our gig soon. I can't wait.
I hope so, man.
It's gonna
we'll have to do a show together, that'll be fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, one day we will. One day we will get it on. But yeah, until now, just stream the shit out of it.
No worries, man. Chat to you soon.